What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going over the best builds that you should build to defeat the upcoming 7-star Dark Terror Feraligator for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're going to be going over physical attackers, special attackers, and online support builds. And of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel and joining the Pan Fan by hitting that join channel member button below. So first off, we're going to break down what we think the Feraligator is going to have, but what we do know for a fact is going to be Terra Dark, is going to have its hidden ability Sheer Force, which is going to give a 30% damage boost to its moves that have secondary effects. Secondary effects that like drop your statuses or maybe like freeze you as an example. Those moves would, instead of having those secondary effects, they would give a 30% damage boost, which makes Feraligator an absolute threat. Now, this Pokemon is actually relatively strong. 105 attack is pretty solid, and it has good ways to boost it up with like Swords Dance and Dragon Dance. It does have some good defenses. 85 HP of 100 defense mean physical attackers will maybe not be the best way to deal with it, but its special defense is pretty decent too of 83. So 83, 85 on the special side is pretty solid. Its weak points are special attack is 79, but I don't think it's going to have any special attacking moves, and its speed is only 78. But if it does have Dragon Dance, then it's going to be able to boost that speed, so it doesn't have to worry about that at all. Now, looking at its moves, I will say, once again, I already don't think it's going to have any special attacking moves, but for physical moves, I think Liquidation or Aqua Tail is the lock. Liquidation would be the harder move for us because it would be getting the 30% damage boost, and it has 100 accuracy, while Aqua Tail is only 90 damage, 90 accuracy, and doesn't have a secondary effect. So I think it's going to be Liquidation. It also gets Crunch, which is going to be Terra boosted because it's Terra Dark, and you get Stab boosted Liquidation. So I think those are the two scary moves here. And yes, Crunch will be getting that Sheer Force boost as well. Ice Punch, another great coverage move, will be getting that Sheer Force move boost as well. And then I was looking through its moveset. It actually has a really good physical moveset, but I think the best physical moves that it has that could add Psychic Fangs to beat the fighting types we're going to bring, that would make a lot of sense. It does get Rock Slide and also gets Earthquake. I guess another one to put down would be Brick Break as well that I forgot to have on here, but I think Brick Break, Psychic Fangs, Rock Slide, Earthquake are probably the scariest ones to worry about for our coverage. Now for setup, I do think Dragon Dance is the absolute lock, but it could also have Swords Dance. You know, Swords Dance is pretty good, give it a +2 attack, but it doesn't give that +1 speed. And I think the speed is more scary than +2 attack in my opinion. And lastly, it could set up Rain. Could do a turn 0 Rain Dance, and then it could just like start popping off on big Liquidation. Stab Sheer Force boosted Liquidation in the rain will hurt a lot of Pokemon if you don't resist that. So that can definitely be problematic for sure. Now for the best raid builds, and we're starting with the physical attackers, and we have to start with Malamar. Malamar is an absolute beast. If the Feraligator has Dragon Dance on its regular moveset, and it constantly does it, so like it can just do it whenever, then Malamar may be the actual best Pokemon for this raid. We're going to go Terra Fighting with the item Shell Bell, and we're going to have the ability Contrary. It's very important you have Contrary. So we're going to go max attack, max defense. I have a Adamant Nature, and the most important thing about this is you need to have the move Skill Swap. So if it does have Dragon Dance on the regular moveset, you are going to go on turn 1 Skill Swap. Now the Feraligator has the ability Contrary, and now it's going to lower its physical attack and its speed every turn it uses Dragon Dance. And at that point, you're just going to use Terra Blast 3 times. You're going to try to die as quickly as possible, and then you're going to die, come back, you're going to have Contrary, and then you can hit that Terra Fighting and go for a superpower and just sweep so easily. And of course, because they have Contrary, superpower will give you +1 attack, +1 defense every time you use it, but you got to make sure you die first. But yeah, I think Malamar would be the absolute GOAT Pokemon here and be the best solo, and you can use this in multiplayer as well if it does have Dragon Dance on the regular moveset. Next up, Iron Hands. Now I think Iron Hands will be pretty solid overall here. It has really good HP, really good defense, really good attack. It's stab super effective against Dark, and we're going to be going with the Terra Fighting and the item Scope Lens. Max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature. You could go max attack, max defense, Adamant Nature if you want. That's probably going to be better, but I just don't have one right now. And the most important move is Drain Punch, and this is essentially what we're going to be spamming most of the time. Drain Punch is going to give back your HP sustain, which is going to be great. And you have 2 moves for setup. You can either go for Swords Dance. Swords Dance is safer. Belly Drum, you can pop off a lot harder, but In solo, you may not be able to get this, but if you're in a multiplayer match and you have someone who puts up like reflect for you, you have someone who can heal for you, then this will be a better move. So I think in solo, I would go Swords Dance, multiplayer, Belly Drum. And then you can replace the other move with something like an Iron Defense because you want some defense against this Feraligator, who is going to be boosting its attack with either Dragon Dance or Swords Dance. Now, Focus Energy is great. If you go like a turn 1 Focus Energy and you have the Scope Lens, you have a 100% chance of critting every time. So you can just hit that Focus Energy and then just spam Drain Punch until you get enough to Terra Fighting, and then just keep on doing that over and over again. And you might just win the raid just like that, depending how the raid goes. For another physical attacker with the other Belly Drummer, which is a Zoom Roll with the Shell Bell, Terra Fairy, the ability Huge Power, Max HP, Max Attack, Adamant Nature. And once again, this Pokemon would probably be better for an online play than for solo, because I feel like even though you do resist, you know, Dark and you do resist Water, it could still be problematic in the late game when it removes your abilities. But I will say in online, it can probably be really good. And it's very simple. You just go for a Belly Drum, and then you hit Play Rough a bunch of times. Then you Terra Fairy, and then you also have Terra Blast. You know, there's a little bit less damage with 100% accuracy and be Fairy, so that'd be a pretty decent option for the physical side. You also have Mud Slap too. Mud Slap, you know, lower that accuracy, build up shield charge, could be good if you're coming back from a, you know, something devastating happens to you on the early turns of the raid. Now, another good solo option slash physical attacker would be Como-O with the Dragon and Fighting. So you resist both water and you resist dark with this, which is really good. And we're going to Terra Fighting. Now, if it does have Ice Punch, you're going to be weak to Ice Punch, but, you know, it's not, you know, it's not Stab. You would also be weak to Psychic things as well, but it's not Stab, so I wouldn't be too afraid. And we do have the item Shell Bell, max HP, max defense with a plus defense nature. Your ability doesn't really matter here, but I just have bulletproof. And what we're going to be going for is Iron Defense Body Press setup, and this will be Stab super effective, Terra boosted. And we also have Breaking Swipe, so we can use this in the beginning to set up our Terra and just lower that Feraligator's physical attack. But we also have Taunt, and if it does have Dragon Dance as like a scripted move, or, you know, it does it like randomly during the raid, you know, an early Taunt can really save you in the early game and just make it so you won't die as quickly. And once you get to that +6 Iron Defense, and you're going to be good to go. Who cares that Feraligator's +6 attack? You're going to be +6 physical defense. And then you're going to be doing damage off your defensive stat and taking less damage because, you know, your defense stat is all the way up. So I think Como-O might be a sleeper Pokemon in this raid. Now, I'll say Koraidon is another decent option, but probably not for the solo, probably better for the online play. Terra Fighting with the item Shell Bell. Max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature. You could go max physical defense instead of HP. Or Calcum Pulse is actually pretty good because you are going to put up the Sun, which is going to reduce the damage of water. You already resist water and you resist dark, which is really nice. And you do have Drain Punch. Swords Dance, Drain Punch is going to be the great combo here. Collision Course is going to be doing base 133 damage here. So that's going to be your big tactical nuke after you get a couple Swords Dances up. And you also have Screech to lower the defense if you're able to get that off. Now, for the best special attackers, I think Clefable is going to be absolutely incredible with the Terra Fairy, and I have the item Metronome on it. With max special attack, max defense, and the ability Unaware. So Unaware allows you to ignore the opponent's stat changes. So if it's +6 attack, +6 speed, you ignore those stat changes. So you're not going to be taking that much damage. You resist dark. Yeah, water could be a problem for you for sure. But to note that Feraligator doesn't get any poison type moves, and his only steel type move that it gets is Metal Claw, which is going to be nothing. So you're essentially going to be fine. You don't have to worry about super effective hits, which is really nice in general. Now, we're going to be going for Draining Kiss as our main damage move. Draining Kiss is going to give us back HP. It's going to be Stab, super effective, Terra boosted, and, you know, it's going to do phenomenal work. We have Reflect to give us a little bit more defense for 5 turns. Calm Mind to set up our special attack. And when we do lose our ability for 1 turn, when the abilities go down, we do have Protect, and we can use that Protect during that turn. So we keep that Unaware, and we don't have to worry about a +6 attack coming from the Feraligator, which is an excellent choice for solo. You know, you do resist dark, which is really nice, and we're gonna have the item Shell Bell, and we're gonna go max HP, max special attack with a modest nature, but you can go max special attack, max defense. That's a little bit more optimal. Your ability Soul Heart's great. Whenever one of your ally Pokemon's faint, you get a plus special attack boost. So in solo, when your allies fail, you will be able to get +1 attack for special attack for free. And this is gonna be very simple. We're just gonna go for Iron Defense to boost our defenses when we get a chance. And we're going to be going for Draining Kiss to get our HP back and do Stab super effective and then Terra boosted damage. We can use Calm Mind if we need any more special attack. And then we have a Tactical Nuke with Floor Cannon. It can miss and it will drop our special attack stat by 2, but this is a great way to finish the raid. Now, this is a little bit risky because you don't resist water, so keep that in mind when Magearna, but it is a decent option. But a Pokemon that does resist water and resist dark is Primarina, which is essentially going to be our special attacking version of Azumarill for the most part. The Terra Fairy and the Shell Bell. Max special attack, max defense with a modest nature. Your ability doesn't really matter here. So what we're going to be doing is we got Draining Kiss for our sustain. This is going to be our main move for the most of the time. We also have Chilling Water to lower that physical attack stat on the Feraligator. Moonblast is going to be our big tactical nuke. And we have Calm Mind to boost our special attack and special defense. Now, unfortunately, we don't really have a good way to deal with Dragon Dance setup, but so this Pokemon is probably not recommended for the solo, but I would recommend it for the online play. For the best supporters, and I think Clodsire is the absolute best supporter here, the Terra Fairy and the Shell Bell, because we have the ability Water Absorb, and Water Absorb allows us to be immune to water, but then we can also be resist to dark with the Terra Fairy, so they're going to be in a great spot against all its stab moves. And we're going to have max HP, max defense with a bold nature, so we're going to be able to take a lot of hits very well. And we're going to have Chilling Water, lower that physical attack, so we can just keep on spamming that and be good. Acid Spray to lower that special defense stat by 2. Earth Power to do some decent damage, but mostly you're going to be hitting Mud Slap and Chilling Water, and Mud Slap will, go through shields and lower the accuracy. So if you get like a bunch of Mud Slaps, like 3-4 Mud Slaps, you pretty much just win the raid because it's never going to hit anyone, and then you can just proceed to spam Chilling Water and just be good to go. Now, another great option is Alcremie. Alcremie will resist dark, which is really nice. We have Light Clay, max HP, max defense. I would run with a plus defense nature, And we have Decorate, which will increase our allies' attack and special attack by 2 stages, which is really nice. Acid Armor to give us +2 defense, which is pretty nice too. Just allows us to keep up against the Feraligator. Light Screen just in case it has a special attacking move. And if it doesn't have a special attacking move, you can replace Light Screen with Helping Hand, and you can also replace Light Clay with something like a Shell Bell, or to give you like some sort of sustain. And then we have Draining Kiss, stab super effective, Terra boosted Draining Kiss will do decent damage against a Feraligator who doesn't have the best special defense. So I think Alcremie is another decent one. And the last one I think is going to be Hisuian Quillfish with the item Eviolite. And we are a dark type, so you will be able to resist the dark moves, but I have Terra Water also selected because if it's for some reason it has like Rain Dance is doing more damage with water, then you can hit your Terra, switch on over, and then resist those water type moves a little bit better. With a max HP, max defense, bold nature, we're gonna have the ability Intimidate, so you start the raid and the Feraligator is already at -1 attack, which is really useful. And then you can just go turn 1 and just use Taunt, and then it can't set up Dragon Dances, and then from there you can either lower its special defense if you have any special attackers on your side of the field, or use Chilling Water to lower its physical attack even lower. And if you want to do some setup, you can use Acupressure on one of your allies and give them a random stat of theirs sharply boosted, which can be really incredibly helpful if they get like physical attack, special attack, physical defense, or evasion. So I do think these 3 supporters are all quite excellent. I'm sure there's going to be some other good ones. You can let me in the comment section below, but I think in general, all these Pokemon are going to be really awesome. But I would say for the solos, I do think Malamar and Clefable are probably the strongest in the solos, just, because they are proven Pokemon. They've worked in the past. The others, it really depends how the raid is going to go, but we'll just have to see. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the live stream when I do this raid live. We're going to be doing a one-hit KO strategy as well, so stay tuned for a video on that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.